feel like throughout the years, there's always this narrative with Singaporean Malay cuisine. It's considered as, unhealthy. It's very oily, it's very like meat-based. But, people back then in the kampungs used to be very plant-based. And that's why I think that brings like more meaning to like, a dish like this.
Thank you for having me over today. You're going to be making us a very special dish.
Yes, I am. So I'm going to make my grandmother's recipe of opor nangka. Alright, so nangka is jackfruit. So we're actually using unripe jackfruit. Right, so like the sweet part, the seeds are not like, yet developed.
Which is the most labor-intensive part of the process?
So we'll start off with pre-boil the jackfruit, at least an hour. When you really cook it down, it has like a very meaty-like texture to it. So that's one thing. We're gonna dry roast the spices as well. We've got cloves, we've got cumin, we've got some coriander seeds, we've got cardamom, and we're gonna toast that with some star anise and some cinnamon as well. But yeah, we have white pepper as well as part of it. So that's gonna be the spice, the dry spice mix. Okay, and then with the wet rempah, which is gonna be shallots, ginger, some garlic as well, and we have fresh turmeric. Another 2 steps, we're gonna soak some dried shrimps as well, which is gonna give it that kick of like umami. And then we're gonna extract some pulp from the tamarind, and we're gonna bring it all together and just cooked with a lot of coconut milk. So this dish is very special and is very signature to my ethnic background. My great-grandparents came from Indonesia, from a place called Baweanese Island. So we are considered the Baweanese community in the whole general Malay community. And before my late grandmother passed, I had the opportunity to come to a kitchen, and I actually asked her, like, hey, can I learn to make some dishes like from you? I joined CIA in Singapore as part of my uni studies because it really there was like that burning passion to learn more, to know what's out there. And subsequently throughout the years, I feel like there's a sense of responsibility for me to bring out Singaporean Malay cuisine and to show it to the rest of the world, because I feel like it's such an unknown cuisine and it's been so untapped.
What are some common misconceptions about Singaporean Malay cuisine?
I feel like throughout the years, there's always this narrative with Singaporean Malay cuisine where it's considered as, unhealthy, very like meat-based. Like, yes, you've got like dishes like, rendang, where, people used to cook for special occasions, for like Hari Raya. But I feel like Malay food itself is very plant-based. We use, fresh rempahs, which is like, sourced, locally, sometimes from their own backyard. And I feel that we need to sort of like, challenge this narrative to say like, hey, like, Malay food is actually, very healthy, it's very fresh. Like, for example, like this ulam right here that I have, this is an ulam raja. Back then people used to eat a lot of like raw vegetables, with their food to counterbalance with like, heavy foods. And also this is like, a really good protein source.
Yeah.
And also to challenge that whole narrative that like, Malay food is unhealthy, when like, you've got all these like plant-based Malay dishes that, you can tap in, that people can try to cook.
Aspar, tell me, what sort of associations or memories do you have with this dish?
It reminds me of my late grandmother. And whenever like you go to her house with all my cousins, it's like a place where you bond together, and there's sort of like that sense of comfort. So I feel like, part of my responsibility like in the family is to sort of like recreate this like feeling of comfort and these memories, so that we all can sort of like bring us back to our childhood. It's a connection with grandma.
Who is a very important person to you, obviously, because she inspired your culinary career.
Yes, she did. Yeah, she was the start of it all. She was like, the role model.